Welcome back to Watchers on the Couch. Today we're talking about episode 6 of season 5, Unbowed, Unbent, Unbroken. I'm Tim Pickerel.
I'm Sarah Hedrick.
I'm Mike Davron.
And, well...
yeah, we should just talk about it right away.
Right away?
You guys, you don't want to wait? Like,
No.
You don't want to save it for the end?
Let's address the non-walled elephant in the room first. And another episode, another rape.
Huge controversy.
And can I just say I was wrong? Yeah.
I was right last episode.
You were right. Apparently all bad guys have to rape somebody.
Every single one.
Every single bad guy.
Yeah.
I wonder if I would feel as upset about that scene if he hadn't, like, just talked about how he had raped Ramsey's mother the episode before that. It's like, because it's just like, okay, bam, and then it got me thinking, and then bam, there's the episode. And it's like, oh.
What, you wanted an episode in between? To kind of like...
It would be nice.
Okay.
I think we should spread the rape out a little bit.
Right.
If you're going to
We didn't see the rape. You didn't see the rape in the episode before, but you heard some graphic detail, so...
I think they could have gotten away with implying it without making it as gratuitous as it was. Like once the door closed, like you put the camera on the other side, you see Theon close the door, and that could have been it. Then you pretty much know what's going to happen.
Well, I mean, as far as what you saw him rip the dress open, and then it just cut to Theon and his expression, and that was probably that, along with the audio of Sansa's obvious pain,
right?
And then Theon's expressions with that. I mean, that was really, really difficult to watch anyway, even if you aren't really seeing anything.
Maybe he wasn't even raping her.
What, you think they were playing Twister?
You never know.
What the hell? Theon's just that damaged. She's like, they're playing Twister. I can't deal.
Maybe it was just running his bony hips into her butt.
Oh my god.
Or maybe he's just giving her a really rough neck massage after he tore the top of the dress.
There you go. See?
Wow.
You don't know. You don't know. You didn't see it.
Okay, Mike, calm down.
I thought the controversy was that old Greyjoy was crying. He was so sad because he was really enjoying what he was watching, but he didn't have a wiener to get a boner.
Wow.
Oh.
That's not what happened?
I don't think so.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
That's his expression.
That's
how I took it.
If I was Theon, there'd be tears in my eyes all day long just because I didn't have a boner. It'd be a constant. I would never stop crying.
He's like, this is so awesome. I'm so turned on, but
I've got no wiener.
Why is this a controversy anyway? That's just ridiculous. This is fake. This is make-believe. Like, I don't know. It's just ridiculous to me. I can't stand that. So
it does seem like they rely heavily on it, which is lazy. I said that last episode.
But that's fine. You can say it's like, if that's what somebody has a problem with, is somebody thinking it's kind of lazy story writing, but I highly doubt, there's plenty of other things you could say in the show that's lazy story writing or something.
Probably, but
it's just because this is a rape scene. Yeah, they're not saying, rape's good. It's pretty much showing that, yeah, this is a horrible thing. When I was watching, I'm like, oh, God, no, don't do it. So, I thought it was a great scene because I felt really uncomfortable, and I was like, oh, God, no. I felt like Theon. So I was like, no, nonsense.
So just because you felt emotion, you thought it was good storytelling.
Yeah, I thought it worked, for me at least. I mean, yeah,
Okay.
It wasn't the best. I'm sure you could do something else, but why... Just because rape is controversial, or a lot of people don't like it now, you can't say
they don't like it now.
No.
People loved it in the past. Back in history.
Remember when rape was really
cool and rape was all right?
Yeah, that's nostalgia there for you.
That's not what Mike was saying. That's just before Mike gets hate mail.
I guess
he's not saying that.
I don't know. I guess before people got... we're so outspoken about it. I mean, obviously, people have always felt the same about it, I'm sure. But now people can be, because the internet, be more outspoken and be heard and have their voice be heard.
No, I think part of it too is that with this show, they're using rape as a device to empower women. And that was the same thing with Daenerys. I mean, her husband basically raped her on their wedding night. And now she's like this really powerful, strong, badass. Mm-hmm. And Sansa stood up for herself this episode. And that was pretty cool to see her do that, even if it was only to Miranda. But then to turn around, and and right. Yeah, no, that was awkward. But yeah, for this to happen to her too, I think people are just kind of a little fed up with that type of storytelling to get to the end point. That could have happened. She could have had so many other things happen. There could have been, at that point, Theon could have helped her. I mean, Theon looked pissed when he turned around and Ramsay was like, no, Reek, you're staying, you're watching, and at that point, he could have completely lost it and been like, okay, that's it, that's the last straw. But
I just feel there's a lot of things you could say about any point in the show like that. Oh, well, sure. They could have gone this way, they could have gone that way. Well, this is just the way it went, and it's, I don't know.
Yeah, but I think the thing is there's a lot of victims of rape. So it's like, what is it, like 1 out of every 4 women experience a sexual assault at some point in their lives? Most people that get brutally murdered are not watching Game of Thrones because they're fucking dead.
Yeah.
So the victim, I was, because I had that thought the other day or yesterday. It's like, there's a lot of other horrible shit that happens.
Or like with Theon being raped and his dick cut off,
Right. So I'm not going to speak to the Theon thing because I'm not interested in an argument. The thing is, after I started thinking about it, it's the number of people who have like murdered children or murdered anybody in their life that would affect way lower statistically than the amount of women that experience a sexual assault. If we're talking 1 out of 4, that's 25% of women.
So, like, are you saying
that's an eighth? That's an eighth of the population.
Hmm. But what are you saying by saying that?
I'm saying there's a lot more vocal people to that. I'm sure there's a lot of people that I think it depends on where you are culturally. We don't have a problem with murder. We like seeing shit blow up. We like seeing people slaughtered. That's our thing. We like that. That's okay. We can have that on network TV. Sexual assault is a way bigger thing because
I'm not saying in any way it's good at all, but I think it's ridiculous because if people have had these experiences and that hurts them to see that means you can't ever show anything like that again. I don't know. It just seems like, let's pretend this never happens in life.
Right.
Or, I think that's kind of wrong. They'll be like, ignore it. Like, same thing with words and being politically correct and, like, pretending like when you say, you can't, you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying, and I don't think that it should be overlooked because people need to know that this happens, even if it is, fictional storytelling. It does happen in real life, and but it's kind of overused as a device to help women.
Yeah, I can see that point there.
Because I was thinking about this the other day. I know this isn't about Dexter. We're not talking about that, but in that show, there was an entire season dedicated to this woman who had been a party to these serial killers that basically kidnapped women, locked them in the basement, and then gangbanged them. And then she got out of it, and then she went and killed all these men, and then she was fine after that. But she was empowered by Dexter to kill all these men, and it's kind of overused to do that, to show female empowerment, or that you can be empowered, if you've overcome some type of atrocity or some type of
But I think there's plenty more to her story that she's already gone through that has made her empowered.
Which was the argument of why, which is part of the argument why that scene wasn't necessary.
Right. Other than to show that Ramsey is an asshole.
Yeah, and to hate him more, and I mean, I don't know. I thought the scene worked.
We're empowered. Like this is going to be the justification that we have to really sympathize with her now, and that's the thing, is that it's lazy and it wasn't quote unquote. So here's the thing: when I say quote unquote necessary, she got married. In Westeros, when you get married, you consummate the wedding. It's like part of their ritual.
Yeah.
So she was going to have sex anyway, because
I think she would have actually. I'm sorry, not to interrupt, but I think there was a point before all this happened that she would have willingly. Done it.
Yeah. She knew it was going to happen. She knew it was a thing.
Yeah.
It was the Theon still being there.
Well, not even that. It was his. Well, that too, but that was in addition to it. But even like his total turn of attitude, he's like, "I just want you to be happy, and are we good? Can we? Let's not lie to each other." And this whole thing where he was actually being kind of a dick, but still somewhat nice. She
knew for sure that he was a psycho.
At that point, yeah. But I mean, like he wasn't being totally offensive at that point. And then they kissed, and it was not an aggressive kiss. It was a nice kiss. So it was just like, okay, at this point, they could have had consensual sex, but he turned it on its head, and it became something much worse than that.
Right. Yeah, and I agree with that completely. As I'm thinking back, I only remember 3 rapes in Game of Thrones. And I think this is the only one where, in my opinion, this is the only one that's where it's actually supposed to be empowering to the female character, because the Daenerys and Drogo thing, that wasn't really the defining moment.
No, it wasn't.
She wasn't.
She was empowered when she came out of that fire with the dragons. That was her moment.
And as she started to embrace who she was, because she didn't hate Drogo.
No, she loved him.
Right.
Absolutely.
And she didn't really hate him before she had sex. She was just in a situation that she wasn't comfortable with, and she's dealing with barbarians. So, yeah, she was raped, and it's upsetting, but at the same time, it's not... How can I say this? It's not the same.
Okay.
Does that make sense? It's
not the same in that she wasn't empowered in that moment, so that doesn't count as a rape scene.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm saying it doesn't count as an empowerment scene.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not. I don't know how. Never mind. Forget I even said anything about this, because
you're just going to cut that out. You're just going to cut that out.
I'm going to.
We're going to cut this whole section out.
I'm going to leave it in there. I don't know what I was trying to say.
So there was a scene at the end, and that's what happened.
Yeah, that's probably what we should do.
Moving on,
because I don't know how.
What was the other rape scene that you're talking about?
The Cersei and Jaime one last season.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Which that one got a lot of back and forth, because it was perceived to be a rape scene, and then a lot of people argued that it wasn't because of whatever stupid reason. It's not a rape scene in the book, but I think part of that is because you're actually in the point of view of the character. So when that's happening, it's Jaime. You're in Jaime's head, and he's not raping Cersei. She just thinks it's inappropriate right now, but it's not like she doesn't want to have sex with him because they're in love and she's missed him. It was that kind of thing, but that is not how it came over, and that's not how it came across when you put it on the screen. When you're not inside the head of, when you're just the voyeur looking from above. It's a big difference. But there's a lot more that happened in this episode than rape. So,
are we done talking about?
Is there other?
I don't really have anything else to say about that particular scene.
I think this whole thing that's getting blown out of proportion. Well, in my opinion, only because the show is fiction and whatnot. But I I think it almost shows that this show does have amazing story writing because people are so into these characters in this show that they feel the need to like speak out so strongly, you know, like it's something real, like I don't know.
Yeah, people are very passionate about it.
Yeah.
And for good reason. I mean, it's a great show. I mean, we wouldn't be talking about it right now and recording our conversation about it right now if it wasn't a great show. So,
I guess my last thoughts on it is... Never mind, I don't have any last thoughts on it. I was going to say... Now what?
No, go ahead.
I was going to say that I agree that it's lazy, but I also agree that we shouldn't not show things like that, but we shouldn't rely on it for storytelling. I think it's important to show things that make people uncomfortable.
I would 100% agree with exactly what you said.
Because it begins the conversation. Like we shouldn't shy away and sugarcoat everything that could upset somebody because that's not how change happens. And that's where I'm going to leave that.
I agree.
Okay.
No, okay.
So let's move on to the other Stark. So Arya finally gets to see what they do with the dead bodies.
That's right.
She unlocked the dungeon.
Achievement unlocked.
Yes.
Headroom.
That's cute.
I hope to have a scissor lift or something in there. How do they get on those heads way, way high up there?
Yeah,
I didn't see scissor lifts.
I was asking
or
Tim.
any extension ladders.
Yeah. Apparently they're just really good at climbing.
I don't know.
Eventually they're going to run out of spaces, too. So do they expand this building? Or they're like, we've used that face 1,000 times. Let's get rid of that one.
Well, that's a good question. It's like, can you only use the face once? Or are those full heads?
And the big thing, Arya must be pissed because she's like, I've been watching the whole body, man.
And you
only got the heads. What do you do with the bodies? Maybe that's next episode. We'll see what they do with the
other
bodies.
rooms. It's like deeper in the dungeons.
Well, we keep the arms here, the dicks there.
That's where they keep all the unsullied dicks are there.
Oh.
Theon's dick is over there somewhere. His father probably sold it to
By
them.
the way, speaking of dicks, real quick.
Why can nobody have a dick in this show?
No, but Varys in season 1 when he's in the dungeon with Ned Stark, he says something about he said something blah 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 before they cut my balls off with a hot knife. Said nothing about cutting his dick off, so maybe a eunuch. Therefore, just because he didn't say anything about cutting off a dick, he specifically said cut my balls off with a hot knife.
Okay.
Maybe it's just balls.
So
that makes sense.
So
the only person missing a dick is Theon.
Right. So
that we know of.
Right?
That we know of.
So
Because we
we're
still don't
saying-
know what they did fully with the Unsullied.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway.
So we can say that if Theon and Varys can form some kind of Voltron, they'll have a full penis between the two of them.
There you go. Or just go to the House of Black and White and find where they put the dicks.
So... Okay,
Man without a face, man without a dick.
Since we're on we can go back to the House of Black and White in a second, but cock merchant?
Oh, yeah. That's a thing.
That's a thing. Somebody's selling dicks.
I love that scene where it's
somebody's
like,
buying dicks.
because it'll be a dwarf dick. Think again. He just rolls it out and be like Austin Powers, thud. His baby heart's holding an apple.
Yeah, it really is the third leg.
Dwarf cocks are good luck. Everything about a dwarf is good luck.
Yeah, you rub the head.
You rub the head, you
That's
cut
good
the
luck.
heads off,
Is that right?
or you cut the dick off.
Cut the dick off.
Cutting
yeah.
the heads off is to send to Cersei.
Yep.
There's a penis fascination in this show.
I think George R.R. Martin has a fascination with penises.
He
Offended.
does.
It's a lazy story.
It's very lazy. The worst thing you can do to a woman is rape her, and the worst thing you can do with a guy is cut his dick off. And that's like the two things that he has to keep
Right.
coming back on. It's like, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't hire him as your wedding planner, though.
Right.
Yeah, that's a big no-no.
We saw that one.
It's big into rape and like killing and poison and
2 weddings this season and nobody died, though.
He just hates himself because he has these thoughts that he wants to rape people. So, like, he also had these feelings where you're like, he doesn't want those rape feelings, so he feels like cutting his dick off. Yeah.
Wow.
Figured it out.
Dude,
Boom.
we've just Okay, George R. R. Martin, that'll be
Sorry.
however much it costs for an hour of therapy, because we just figured you out.
Yep. Allegedly. Isn't that what you say?
Yeah, you have to say allegedly. You have to say allegedly. We'll say fake George R. R. Martin on Twitter. That's who we're talking about. Just we're going to cover all bases.
So yeah. This was really cool. So are we getting back to Arya?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So when it was Jahar, is that his name?
Jack and Hagar.
Jack and Hagar. I just totally merged it together. I made that up. Jack and Hagar.
Allegedly.
Could
Could just be somebody wearing that face.
Could be Steve for all we know. So
Steve.
he says to Arya, he basically reads her and it's just like, you're not ready to be no one, but you're ready to be someone else. So does that mean that they're going to cut off her nose and her tongue and her ears and give her a new face?
No.
Or,
Like we said before, yeah. How does it work? Like,
I don't know.
So that's apparently
or does it work how?
I think that because the nose is still there, like they keep the cartilage in the nose because like other like the bones aren't, So maybe I don't know. I was just thinking about this because like the noses were still sticking out.
But are we assuming that they actually put on someone's face?
Yes.
I was
think
more
so.
thinking it was more like magical, like
No.
than actual physical, like
I'm assuming they put
Mission
on faces.
Impossible style. I wasn't really thinking it'd be like Mission Impossible style. You put on a mask and now you're someone else.
I guess we'll have to see.
I was thinking it was going to be something more
I don't know. It sounds
magical, mystical, like.
No, it sounds like to actually be no one, like to be a faceless person, you have to have your face
removed.
off.
Yeah. Right.
Peach. I could eat a peach for hours.
So
See, but how do they change their voices? They don't have voice synthesizers yet, right?
no, they don't.
I don't know.
But I don't know. I mean, is that why they take the whole head? Are they actually doing head transplants? Like, even though not like we can just now do head transplants in this time, but
You never know. Maybe they have just amazing doctors and technology. Next room you walk in, it's just space age freaking equipment. And
oh yeah, somebody's gonna get head transplant.
What?
You're looking at me funny like that's not. I read that on I fucking love science. Like,
Are you serious?
Some dude's gonna get a head transplant.
This is the first time hearing of it. That is crazy.
It's criggity crazy.
Send me that link. I want to see it.
It's from a few months ago, but yeah, I'll find it again.
Find it.
But yeah, he's talking about like chopping off the ears, nose, eyes, tongue. Why do you have to lose the tongue? I don't get that. But
Maybe that's the voice.
what was he saying? He was just saying lose it, not chop it off. He didn't say like cut it off, did he? He just said lose it.
I would assume that's
Right.
implied.
I thought that he said cut. I thought he used the word cut.
I thought he just said lose.
Cut off the nose,
Or remove.
ears,
Yeah, maybe.
and tongue.
Maybe he did say cut.
I don't know either. I'm assuming. But if
Okay.
here's the thing: if you have to have all your face chopped off to be a faceless person, but she's just ready to become someone else, do they have a way to just put a face on top of her face? I
don't know.
So there's
yeah.
lots of questions that aren't being answered.
Maybe
yet.
it's
And those
not
adult
even-
heads aren't really going to fit her child body, right? That's
well,
going to
that's
look
why.
awkward.
Yeah. Well, she just killed a little girl, so I mean, like that's fine. That would work.
Don't, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
But I don't think that. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think that he meant literally that she was going to become someone else in the physical sense. I think it was more like a you're going to be someone else. You're going to aspire to be someone else. So she's still going to have
Okay.
her face, but maybe she's going to change
Or
her.
she has to practice her lying backstory.
Could
and
be.
live in
She
that.
works on skills, becomes an assassin. I don't know.
She works on the Game of Faces, which is where you just make faces at each other, and the
Right.
first person to laugh loses.
It's a great game.
Ooh, lion face. Ah. Lion face. Ooh.
When you play the game of faces, you win or you laugh.
If you're laughing, doesn't everybody win?
Yes.
Yay!
All right.
But she was getting whipped. And she said, "I'm not playing your stupid game anymore."
We never stop playing the game of faces.
Like,
I said time out. No.
when are we going to start playing the Game of Faces? You know, the one that's a rip-off of Monopoly, or... No. Sorry. I was trying to go with the board game type of, what would the Game of Faces board game be like?
Oh. Isn't there? There's
It'd be
that.
like charades, wouldn't it?
No, it'd be like Guess Who.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I've never
That
played
works.
that.
You never played Guess Who? No, it's the each person has a board, and it's got like, I don't know, 30 faces on it, and you have to guess who the person is based on the card that you have.
Weird.
Or somebody has the card, and
That's all the Game of Faces is.
That would be the Game of Faces. That would totally
that's
be
that
it.
room is one big game of faces.
All right.
Which face am I thinking of? Are you an old woman? Yes. Well, that gets rid of this column and this column and this column.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like the Game of Faces.
But she made that girl. Yeah, she lied to that girl and made her drink that ball water.
Ball
Here,
water.
drink this ball water.
Yeah, that's the water that they used to kill, like, not kill the people, I'm sorry, wash the dead people.
It's a bit
They
salty,
use it to
but
kill them, too.
I swear it'll make you feel better.
We don't know that for sure. We just kind of speculated
Oh,
that.
okay. I missed a scene.
Tim's looking like at me like I'm crazy.
I
now.
missed a scene. If like that's
No.
the same, like they just
reuse it.
they just wring out the water from the cloths back in there, and that's what kills people.
Yeah.
It's like,
Could be.
The ball water kills people.
it could be.
Like you just reuse it.
Now that I'm
so
thinking
much
about it.
bacteria and
Actually, that makes a lot of sense now that I think about it.
we had Tyrion and Jorah.
Tyrion and
he
Jorah,
found
so-
out his daddy died.
Yeah,
No.
Tyrion breaks that news to him. I don't know how Tyrion got word of that. Like, I don't know. Like, is there like a Night's Watch newsletter that
I'm
comes
sure
out?
they probably send. I mean, if the commander of the Night's Watch dies, I'm sure
Oh,
people
yeah.
need to know about it.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
a
I guess
raven
they-
or something.
Yeah, I guess they
Word.
probably would do that. That makes sense.
Because
too.
then it'd be announced like who is the new Lord Commander. So,
Mm-hmm.
yep, they had a little moment. They opened up to each other a little bit, and or at least being
Well, sort of.
people
yeah,
to each other.
yeah.
A little heart to heart about why they're following Daenerys, and well, Tyrion asked questions, Jorah kind of answered, and then they get kidnapped by slavers, and they're gonna go get
They're
a
gonna turn them into water because that's what they came up there for, looking for water.
right.
They're like, there it is, water.
And they're like, no, we're people.
But now they're gonna get a quick trip to Marine,
Yeah, pretty much.
so playing some mind games.
That was smart.
Tyrion's pretty good.
He was really good. And Jorah caught on, thank God.
Did Jorah actually ever kill any Dothraki people?
Yeah, he did.
Right?
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
did
no, he
happen,
wasn't-
right?
he wasn't
that was after Khal Drogo died, and the one guy was.
He was trying to say that he was
He was,
Khal?
he was just challenging the fact that Daenerys was going to
be the ruler.
be the ruler,
Be the Khaleesi.
and they're doing like the dark magic in the tent to try to keep him alive.
Okay,
So
yep.
I think that's
Okay,
when that
yeah.
happened. So yeah, that actually did happen. But no songs about him, as far as I know. Unfortunately, I wouldn't mind hearing the Jorah Mormont song.
Yeah. Jorah. Nope, not even gonna try. Just embarrass myself.
Mormont,
Jorah Mormont, Jorah Mormont.
all songs sound the same.
Tyrion's big wiener.
Wiener, wiener.
Tyrion's wiener. It's not a dwarf wiener.
Guess again.
Yes. So yeah, that's that actually kind of works out well for them. Well, at least to get there, once they get there.
Who knows?
They have to figure it out, yeah.
Or Jorah could just give them all grayscale.
Oh, yeah, he could.
And then you're just gonna have a bunch of like crazy slavers on your
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a good plan either.
So, what happened? Do we know how great? Did we talk about this last time? Where grayscale comes from, or like, is there any information on like how this disease got started? Like,
Like its origin.
yeah,
No,
like it
no,
almost
it's
could just
Patient
be
X.
like kind of like in real life where from animals to humans, like it does that jump. Like, could be it was a dragon disease and now it jumped to humans
There might be something
because they're
about
kind
that.
of grayscale-y,
Sure. There might be something about that in on the interweb somewhere, but I think as far as the show goes, they haven't really talked about that as far as origin goes.
Like, what would happen if Daenerys got grayscale? Would she actually turn into a fucking dragon? That would be awesome. All right, that's my dream, okay?
What
Don't ruin
if-
it. Don't ruin it.
what
We'll
if-
leave it at that.
What if all dragons were actually people that had grayscale?
Yay!
That's like it's like getting bitten by a zombie, but instead of a zombie, you turn into a dragon.
You have to get grayscale, then you have to fall into a volcano, and then out comes a dragon.
Yes, that makes sense. That seems legit.
Right? Because Valeria had 14 volcanoes or something, and they all erupted at once, and boom, everyone's dead.
Yeah.
Meh.
Got hike the
So
volcano.
no more dragons because there's no more volcanoes. There are only volcanoes in one spot in this whole world. Apparently so.
I don't know. There's so many questions that I don't have the answers for. Was that all the characters we saw? No.
No.
There's the King's Landing stuff.
Right.
Yeah, Baelish and Cersei. I really always like the scenes with her or Baelish because I never know what Baelish is going to do. Ever. Still don't really know where he's going with. What are your thoughts on where he's going with it?
I'm as clueless as you are on it. Actually, I mean, he has been out for himself the entire time.
Yeah, I think at this point, Baelish is just trying to play everyone with any sort of power against each other, so they'll take themselves out of the way, and he'll step in.
Mm-hmm. That's how I kind of see it going. Is just he always has some play on it that I don't see coming.
But the crazy part is that I really thought that he had affection for Sansa.
I think he might,
And
because he did take the time to train her in his skills of manipulation.
Sure. I don't know.
I would say if he does have feelings for anybody, it would be her.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't think of anybody else pretty much ever throughout the show that he's really had feelings for, because Catelyn
Right.
who he loved so much.
Right. And Sansa's not the spitting image of her mother, but, just as beautiful.
Kiddies, this is not Game of Thrones. Stop pretending to be Bronn and Jaime.
Oh, they were in the episode
Yeah.
too. I forgot about that. That didn't go very far.
No. It's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I thought that the sand snakes were going to be really badass, and so I wonder what will actually what Prince Doran of Dorne will do now that he's got the sand snakes and he's got Jaime and Bronn.
Yeah, he has everybody. So
he doesn't really want to start a war, so I don't think he's going to kill Jaime or something like that. So I don't know.
But Marcella's in love.
She is.
And she didn't want to leave so easily. So I don't think she's going to go.
Yeah, what do you know? A relationship that might actually be innocent and not shitty.
Right.
Game of Thrones. We can't have that last.
No.
Yeah. Well, Tommen, that's good too.
He's a good kid.
Except, damn it, what the hell?
Yeah.
I mean,
He totally...
I don't believe that scene at all. Him just not doing anything, especially how hot she is, how young he is, what she's probably doing in the bedroom. He'd be like, I don't care, Mom. Sorry, I don't care what you want. I'm getting that back.
kill these guys with the stuff carved on their heads.
Yeah,
This is not happening.
I can't believe he waved off his knights to not stop the Faith from taking Marjorie away.
Right.
I mean, I get the brother, he doesn't really have ties, but if Marjorie's upset, he's kind of in the doghouse. So I don't know. That was crazy. And then what's going to happen with the House of Tyrell? Are they going to continue to provide food and gold and whatever else they were giving to West? Is it Westeros or giving to the Landing?
Yeah, to give to the crown.
Yeah, to give to the crown. So I feel like Cersei really screwed
the pooch. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not thinking, or if she's got some kind of plan, it's beyond all of our comprehension. It just seems like she's
pretty good at playing games like that, just like Baelish is, and somehow getting away with it.
I feel like she's not.
She takes really big risks. She takes bigger risks than Baelish. Baelish is more... I think he's better at it than anybody.
Oh, yeah.
But
he
Cersei will
plans
take
it.
big risks, but still kind of get away with it.
She's super manipulative.
Because I thought that was a pretty good play. Because we've been talking about where's she going with this? What's going to happen? It's going to come back to her.
Yeah.
But she kind of got what she wanted. And I didn't think it was going to go that way.
In the short term, yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't see
yeah.
big picture.
But But she doesn't have to, because then she comes out with another play to overcome that. I mean,
Right.
eventually everything will catch up, but
Right, they play two different, like
she's been
Baelish.
doing it pretty good for a long time.
Baelish is running the long con, and then Cersei doesn't see beyond what she wants to do right now.
Yeah.
So, because I mean, without the support of House Tyrell, they're bankrupt. Like they were already in debt because of Robert Baratheon. They were spending up a storm. Those
because they're in debt to the Iron Bank, right?
yeah, those tax and spend Baratheons. I mean, they
The Iron Bank's in Bravos, right?
yes,
Right.
yeah. So they're getting money from them and
And then probably
Tyrells. It's
Maybe she is doing a long con. We just don't see it. But I don't know. I mean, the way that she played that just seemed really dumb.
I think her motivations are only to get people that she doesn't like out of the way, and she's not thinking much beyond that.
And remember at the very beginning of the season what that witch told her, so that probably stuck with her pretty hard, and I believe that she thinks that person who is going to take over
Is Marjorie?
Yeah.
But
So
it's
she's
Daenerys.
going to make sure what she can do, right? To
Yeah.
get rid of that.
What do you guys think? Do you guys think it's Marjorie, or do you think it's Daenerys?
I think it's Marjorie.
Do you? I think it's Daenerys. I don't think Marjorie's going to last this season.
You're breaking
Better,
Mike's
or I'm
heart.
never watching the show again.
That's Mike's controversy.
or I'll watch the show with the picture of her by my side.
There you go. Loving memory.
Oh,
I can miss you.
remember the good old days when you were alive and hot?
So I haven't read the book, so I don't know if that's even if
I can't. I don't even speculate on the episodes anymore when it comes to the book. There's some things that I want to see happen, and I think there's things that they will implement in some way. But I mean, yeah, they've so many storylines are so far diverged from the books, and they're by the end of this season they'll either be caught up to the books or past the books, and I still don't think we even have a release date for the next book.
Okay.
So.
This is episode 6, right? So
Yes,
how many
we're at
episodes
the
do we have left?
There's
Is there
10
6 more?
episodes. There's 10 episodes a season.
Okay,
so
so
we're
we
already.
got 4
So
more.
this is the back half of the season. Only 4
4
more
more.
episodes of this season, and only 4 more episodes of the podcast for this year, unless we figure out some other stuff to do.
Oh, well, yeah. We can figure out something. Should do an extra podcast at the end so you can speculate about, because you read the books, and you can be like, this didn't happen, that didn't happen. I guess we can end up doing that in the last episode.
We do that. I mean, we do that in bits and pieces anyway, because I don't really care about spoiling things for people. I just don't want to spoil things for you guys.
That's
I don't wanna,
right.
I'll speculate all day long.
Don't ruin this for me,
And I
Tim.
will talk about theories all day long. I didn't have a problem with the
Hypothesis.
hypotheses, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
You saw Neil deGrasse Tyson. Hypothesis,
Yeah.
not theories.
right. Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson was here last week in town, and we all went and saw it, and it was pretty awesome. So that's that story.
Or what about Brother Lancel or whatever, when Baelish meets him? Yes, Baelish has to be super pissed. They took down all his brothels.
Oh yeah.
It would be awesome if while Baelish is in town, he has some way to bring down the Faith Militant.
That would be fantastic. I would like to get rid of that whole part.
But I guess
of the show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't do it for me either. But I guess it's something that they need to have
there's a good
something.
point to it, but
They need to
as far
have
as-
something going on in King's Landing, I guess, in order for there to be a show.
do you think Cersei is going to go to the north right away, or is she going to wait?
Well, it's not really her. It's the Knights of the Vale that are going to be going. But yeah, I think that she's going to take. I think she's going to take.
Yeah,
him up
so she
on
probably
it.
can't even choose to, because she doesn't. She's
not-
going to have to rely on him. So
Yeah.
Right? She has to talk to the king.
yeah.
But I think yes, if that goes, I think it's going to be fast.
It's going to have to be
Yeah.
because winter is coming.
And she said the seasons are already changing.
Yeah.
I haven't noticed anybody wearing more coats, though.
Well, it's still up north, so
And have you noticed that in Winterfell it's always dark?
yes.
What's up with that? Like, there's no light. Like, it's just the winter. Like, the winter is just completely
It's always
dark.
well, it's always winter up in Winterfell.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
So,
there
it's
was
just-
actual daylight in the beginning of this. At the beginning of the series, actually, the first episode, they
Oh, you mean we only see
I
people?
haven't really noticed.
Well, I mean, oh, you actually meant night.
yeah.
I don't think that's. I think you just get married at night. I mean, that's pretty much
maybe-
the only time we've seen
Oh, okay.
outside. I think when no,
Maybe
I think
just
it was
this episode.
I
Because
think it was overcast when she went to the kennels.
You're right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, even up in the previews for the next episode, when you see Jon Snow, it still looks like it's fairly bright up there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It is all white, but,
Yeah, but still.
that helps.
Right. Okay. It was just this episode kind of screwed me up.
And in the previews, looks like Sam needs to watch his back. Hopefully, he doesn't get his ass killed. And we're just like, oh, shit, no one knows about Dragonglass. And
Because when John goes, that leaves Alistair Thorne in charge.
yeah, and he tells Sam, like, all your friends are leaving or something. Like,
Yeah, and I don't think he's saying that. No. Oh, that's a shame.
Right.
you want a hug? Are you feeling okay?
It's like all your
I'm
friends.
here for you.
All your friends are leaving, Tarly. Yeah, no Stannis to back him up. No Jon Snow.
So, I wonder if we'll see the battle, or if they'll wait for that as far as in Winterfell with Stannis and the Boldens.
We'll see that battle.
You think next episode?
No.
Maybe the one after. It seemed like they were really dragging that out.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a while to get there.
Yeah. There's a bunch of other stuff going on, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff going on in this season that we're not seeing every storyline, every episode.
I still want the show to be like an hour and a half.
Yeah. Apparently that costs money, though.
Well, yeah. Definitely an expensive show.
Yeah. I think it's like the most expensive show.
Probably. There's a lot in it. Costumes, makeup, and CG, and
I'd like to see the battle last more than one episode, too. Or at the very least, it's like the other battles in the show where the battle is the entire episode. That would be nice. But there's so many battles that can potentially happen right now that we need to be able to get to all of them.
yeah. 4 episodes, man. That's not a lot.
It's not.
For as much stuff that's going on, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of things I want to happen that aren't going to happen until next season.
Right. I think, well, last season, the season
Like, this
finale,
is just a build-up for next season.
the season finale last year was like 90 minutes long. So, and it went fast because I remember watching it again. And it's like, the show's over.
Yeah, well, we watched it again before.
that's right,
Yeah, and
we
it
did.
was actually pretty long.
So,
And fantastic.
Yeah, it was a great episode.
So, Mike, what are you hoping that's going to happen that you don't think is going to happen this season?
That Daenerys will turn into a dragon.
And short boobs.
She'll get her clothes burned off at least by a dragon.
Right.
I don't know. I guess just for people to die.
No, people are going to die.
Yeah, just maybe not the right people.
Or, I don't know, like Arya, I don't know how much will really happen with her developing, I guess, into what Jagar Hagar is. Which obviously should take quite a while, and you know, like it won't be overnight. I get it.
Yeah. I'm afraid we're going to have an issue where Arya's just going to be there for several seasons. Like Daenerys is still not in Westeros fighting for the throne yet.
Yes, and that's the thing too. I mean, I don't see Daenerys moving on out of Meereen at all, and I guess that kind of makes sense too because there's too much shit going on there to even move on beyond that. So
Maybe they'll do some montages.
montage. Even Daenerys had a montage.
Hearts on fire.
You're the best around. No one's gonna keep Daenerys down. Sweep the leg, Daenerys.
Hodor. A Hodor montage would be awesome. I'm still hoping.
Yes, and that as well.
Yeah, we've already
Bran.
established no Bran this season, but it would be cool if there is just like something with him in it at the end of the season.
At least something at the end. I'd be like, yeah. Can we like travel forward in time, like to see the next episode when it comes back on?
Well, we only have to wait another month, so and it's going to be here. Travel. You said traveling time to see the. Oh, the next episode.
The next season. Sorry.
Oh, the next season. That's
I want this. That's what I'm saying. I want the last episode to be so amazing that I work as hard as I can to invent time travel.
And it takes about a year to do.
And it moves at normal pace. Yeah.
I've just been sitting in this box for 12 months. And I stepped out, and it's the future.
But I made sure to use the shithole in my box.
All right, this was Watchers on the Couch. I'm Tim Pickerel.
I'm Sarah Hedrick.
I'm Mike Daveron.
And now our watch is ended. Until next week, we got to go find a cock merchant.
Bye-bye. Call me electrician because I'll turn you on, but I'll come when it's inconvenient.
There's the drop for the end of the episode.